Hey everyone, I'm down here by the river again. I hope the noise isn't too loud, and I'll try to keep my volume softer than normal. But today I want to talk to you why so many people think nobody's coming to the Philippines. Is Philippines in trouble? Is it no longer a tourist destination? Is it no longer paradise? I got some surprising news for you. Ever since the big lockdown, 2021-22, tourism here in the Philippines has exploded right after the lockdown in early 2022 into 2023 and continuing into 2024. Tourism was on the rise, man. People were flocking here left and right. When I got here, I saw nothing but backpackers, guys coming in, getting apartments, renting houses, all different kinds of people, different shapes, different ages, different interests, but they all came to the Philippines. But why is tourism down now? The big report is tourism is down here in the Philippines. It's down about 3 or 4% for the first quarter of 2025. Well, I don't see a drop in tourism. I see a lot of people here. And as another blogger said, as long as there's girls here for old guys, there's going to be plenty of foreigners coming here to the Philippines. Let's take a look at some of these numbers. Let's see what happened to all the tourists. Well, the biggest drop in tourism has come from other Asian countries. South Korea, for instance, they're down over 9% for the first quarter of the year. A lot of that has to do with the political climate back in South Korea. They're not getting as much bang for their buck, so not so many Koreans are coming here. But the biggest driver of the tourism industry going down in numbers is China. China is down 1/3, 33% since the first of the year until the end of the first quarter of 2025. There's just not that many Chinese coming here anymore. A lot of it has to do with the political environment, tougher immigration. The Bureau of Immigration has gotten tougher on Chinese tourists. And also they're not allowing the POGO, the gambling companies, to bring people into the Philippines to work. So this has caused a dramatic drop in tourism and people coming to the Philippines. So what about the rest of the world? Australia, they're up. More people are coming here now from Australia than ever before. Budget flights from Australia here to the Philippines. It's pretty inexpensive for them to get here. Canadians are coming here in droves. Canadian tourism is up 10% in the first quarter of the year. Why is that? Well, they're getting more pesos for their dollar. Also, I hear that they don't want to visit the U.S. anymore. Las Vegas is off the list. South Florida is off the list. They're just going somewhere else. And Mexico doesn't interest them. So they're coming to the Philippines, a country that speaks English, pretty women, good food, beautiful beaches, and they're getting a lot of bang for their buck. And what about Americans? Americans are up 13, maybe 14% for the first quarter. A lot of that has to do with the ease of travel. There are many, many more flights coming here to the Philippines. The price of the flights are going down. Also, the dollar is staying pretty strong, still getting 57, 58, sometimes 56 pesos to the dollar, but it's holding pretty steady there in that range. And when COVID ended, it was like a racehorse locked in the starting gate. When it ended, the gates opened up and everybody fled. Man, we got to go do something. Let's go to the Philippines. Let's go Thailand. Let's go to Mexico. Let's go somewhere. Let's do something. People were sick of staying home. So there's a lot of tourism coming here to the Philippines, but you were butting with the South Koreans and the Chinese and so many other groups coming here. Now you don't have to fight for that because of the less South Koreans coming in and the less Chinese. The hotels have more rooms. They have probably lowering the rates a little bit. It's easier to book now than it was before. Before, everything was always booked. It was hard to get a date at a good, nice hotel. But now you don't have to fight that traffic. Any of you guys ever been to a tourist spot and a tour bus, looks like a big Greyhound bus, and all these South Koreans get off and they dominate the restaurant. They dominate the whole block that they're on. And they're not really the most polite people in the world as a whole. And it was just not fun to be around where the South Koreans. Everybody likes to hang with your own. And now there's less pressure from outside influences because the Asian countries are not coming here anymore. There's more freedom. There's more room to spread your arms. There's more beach to lay on. So why are Americans coming here? Again, the dollar is very strong, getting great pesos to the dollar. Flights are easier. There's more flights coming in. Also from Canada, there's flights from Toronto, Vancouver. Both countries are having a big influx of people coming into the Philippines as tourists. A couple years ago, the average stay was 7 nights when people came to the Philippines. Now it's up to 11 nights. So people are spending more money, more time enjoying their vacation. But let me tell you why people are not moving here. I honestly believe less and less guys are moving here on a permanent basis. You have a lot of guys coming here for 6 months, 3 months, and then heading back home to their home country. A lot of things are not stable anymore. You know, that rush to get out of the country and to enjoy your retirement years after COVID is gone. So now we have more time and we're thinking about things. The financial climate back in the U.S. is tough. You know, who knows what's going to be happening in the future? Men are working longer. Men are working into their 70s now to have enough money to be safe and secure in their retirement. They're living a lot longer. Health issues and concerns for health care here in the Philippines. It's a major concern. Once you hit 70, you never know what happens. You're going to get some sort of cancer. You're going to get some sort of heart condition. You're going to get some sort of kidney failure or liver problems. These all have to be addressed. And most people want to address these back in their home country. And yeah, coming here for dating. Dating is a huge reason to come here, but it's not the main reason. It's something you get out of your system pretty quick. Once you hit that 65, 70, come on, guys, let's be honest. Do you really need to be banging every other night? Is boom, boom the most important thing? No, companionship is very important, and stability in a relationship is very important. So a lot of guys are not coming here no more because they can find the boom, boom, but they can't find that long-term commitment where it doesn't feel like they're being used for their money and their pension. So they're going back home, traveling back and forth and doing it the way they want to do it, the way they want to enjoy life. So I'm fully agree that less expats are coming here to live permanently, but I'm in total disagreement that there's less expats coming here on vacation as tourists. Tourism is flying up here. And if you look how strong the dollar is nowadays, it's huge. The dollar is very strong. And because of the weakness of the Asian countries, you know, not so many Chinese anymore, not so many Koreans. The Koreans dominate like the restaurant business, Angeles City, Walking Street. The Koreans are everywhere. Nothing against Koreans or anything of this nature, but they sort of dominate. They're not a tourist. It's a short hop for them to come from South Korea to the Philippines. And same thing with the Chinese. But us Americans, Canadians, North Americans are making the bulk of people who are coming here to visit. I don't know about living here that much, but let's talk about living here, transitioning to being a full-time resident of the Philippines. The cost has gone up. You know, I just did that video on the SRRV. All the deposits have gone up. It's much stricter. It's harder to get. You know, the requirements are the same, but they're checking deeper. They're checking your background, your criminal background. They're checking everything. They don't want anybody with a bad past here full-time in the Philippines. Ask World Zoom. He'll tell you they don't want them here. And there's many people who are asked to leave after they've been here for a while. Also, the tourist visa is getting harder and harder to manage. You have to go every 2 months to get it extended. And that takes time and energy. It takes a day out of your life every 2 months. You have to be somewhere near a Bureau of Immigration office where you can extend your visa for the couple months, the ACR card. You know, sometimes they take fingerprints. Sometimes they ask a lot of questions. They want to know what you're doing here. And if you're not traveling, I foresee in the future, they're going to say, well, where are you traveling to as a tourist? Do you have reservations somewhere? What is your itinerary? They're just not going to accept somebody living in a house in Dumaguete for 2.5 years as being a tourist. That is something of the past. I can see that slowly changing with all the questions they ask. So the tourist visa is becoming more and more of a hassle if you're trying to be a long stay and take a shortcut. But for those of you that are coming on vacation, the tourist visa is really easy. You don't even need one. You get on the airplane, you got your passport, you go through security, you go through customs, and you go up to immigration, and they give you 30 days right off the bat. No fee, no nothing. 30-day stay on a tourist visa. That is easy peasy. Try being a Filipino and go the other way. Be a Filipino and try to go to the U.S. on a tourist visa. Man, there's so many hoops they got to climb through. And also, when you come here to the Philippines, if you want to live here, you have to have your income set up. If you want a permanent resident visa, you got to have your pension. So you can't come at 35 or 40 unless you were smart enough to have a good pension set up prior to coming here. Some of the best value for people coming here are men who have married a Filipina. They either met her in their home country or they met her here and they went through the procedure of taking her back to their home country. They've been together for many years. They've had a life together. They built a future. They have a house. And then they decide they're moving to the Philippines. And they come here. They buy land. They build. They don't have any insecurities. They're coming here with total peace of mind, just like moving from Kansas to Iowa or something of that nature. You're just moving where you live. And usually they're going to where the girl's family is from. So there's always somebody around that they know. Hey, guys, I'm down here at the river again. Take a look at this beautiful river. Let me show it to you. It's one of my favorite spots to come to in the mountains. It hasn't rained here in a couple days, so the river's not so bad. I just love it down here. I love living in Dumaguete, Valencia area. There's so much for me to do. I have decided I'm a resident of the Philippines. I live here in Dumaguete, and this is going to be my home for a long time. The rest of you have to make up your mind. What do you want to do? It is uncomfortable sometimes to give up the comforts that you have, the life that you have, to come to a strange country and trust a stranger. Some girl you met online, or maybe you met her in person for a little while, but you have to give all that trust towards her, and you have to trust her. And if she does anything to break that trust, it's going to devastate you. So be careful on who you choose as a partner. No matter how good it looks, how good it feels, things change. How many times have you been married in the U.S.? Remember your first wife. You met her, you dated her, you had a great time, you laughed, and you said, "You're the girl I want to be with forever. I'm going to build a house with you, and we're going to have a great time living until we're old and living together." Well, that didn't last too long, did it, guys? And that's the same thing that can happen here in the Philippines. So to sum all this up, is tourism down here in the Philippines? Yeah, but in a good way. The numbers of who comes. It's like you have a business, you have a restaurant. Is it better to have 100 customers and nobody spends money, or 10 really good customers who come in there, spend a lot of money, enjoy themselves, are nice and polite, and then when they leave, everybody's happy? I believe quality is much more important than quantity. So the visitors coming to the Philippines need to be people who are coming here for the right reasons. If you're coming here for the wrong reasons, it's not going to be fun. It's going to be a short stay, 2-week millionaire type thing. But if you're coming here to live, think about it. A lot of guys have changed their mind about the reasons and the type of life they can have here in the Philippines. It's not cheap anymore. Your budget here in the Philippines is going to have to run around $2,000 a month, if not a little bit more. Nothing's cheap. Quality places to live where you're going to be comfortable are going up in cost. Little dumpy places where you have a rat with you every now and then, those are cheap. You can find lots of those places. You can find lots of places with roaches on the walls. But to find a good quality place, built very nice, good restroom, good bathroom, good shower, good AC, good place to cook, good refrigerator, those are going to be hard to find. And they're going to cost you more. If you want to live on the beach, it's always going to be more expensive. Food is going up. Quality food is going up. Yeah, you can buy native chicken pretty cheap. You can buy pork pretty cheap. with a lot of fat on it. But if you want quality food, it's going to come with a price. So don't come over here thinking everything is so cheap. You're going to be disappointed. Be prepared for the higher cost. It's much cheaper than in the US, but man, it's still going up in price all the time. Okay, guys, let me know what you think. Do you think more guys are coming here as tourists, or are they decided not to travel to the Philippines? Let me know in the comments section. Until next time, thanks for watching.